going, One Piece adventurers? It is I, Amaze the Storyteller, back at you with a brand new video, and I'm dying. But I'm excited to film this video anyway, because it's fucking Vergo. Who doesn't love Vergo? You remember Vergo? Dude, this guy was extremely badass when he was introduced in the Punk Hazard arc. Anyway, Vergo is a member of the Don Quixote Pirates. Now, he defected from the pirates to go undercover within the Marines. He rose to the rank of Vice Admiral at the G5 Navy base and headed up the entirety of that base. The dude was incredible. He made his debut in Punk Hazard, where we meet him finally in the flesh, and at that time, I had heard rumors that there was a gravity fruit user, and I immediately thought it was Vergo because of the shit sticking to Vergo's face. Turns out, Vergo's just a messy eater and he has no gravity powers. That went to Fujitora in the Dressrosa arc. Silly me! Whatever. I get confused with characters when I hear about them before I see them, right? So whenever you're watching the series, you're like, is that him? That's gotta be him! It's not. So yeah, that was totally me. What also confused me about Vergo's character is that he's also got the mantle of Corazon, which is the heart seat of the Don Quixote family. Corazon Rosinante also holds that seat, and I found out doing research for this video that it's because Rosinante is actually a successor to Vergo, because Vergo had to go into the Marines undercover to serve Doflamingo properly. Now, it's important to remember that Vergo is Doflamingo's right-hand man. Don't get it twisted. Vergo is the guy. And it makes sense, right? With a character as powerful and influential as Doflamingo, you need a right-hand man that's just as powerful and influential. And within the Marines, you can't get more powerful or influential than a Vice Admiral. The only thing above Vice Admiral is Admiral, and there's only 3 of those. Which makes me believe, and I'll make a whole video about this later, but this makes me believe that there are tons of quote-unquote admirals in waiting. And Vergo may very well have been one of them, as I'll get into in this video, because the dude is fucking strong. Not only does he have extreme brutality and malice in his fists, he also has a bamboo stick that he wields that he can hockey up with armament hockey, being stronger, by the way, than normal armament hockey, as we saw when he broke fucking Smoker's jut. Just saying, the dude can armament hockey up. It's a specialty of his. And when he goes into full hockey rage mode, he is not to be trifled with. I doubt there's a character that can go one-on-one against him in the series without a Devil Brute. In my opinion, Vergo displayed the strongest armament hockey in all of the series, outside of Garp himself. While he certainly was the secondary antagonist to the Punk Hazard arc, Vergo displayed a lot of Admiral qualities. We see him doing his due diligence as Vice Admiral to ensure the safety of certain citizens on certain islands. They were very concerned about the children that were going missing, and Vergo told these individuals that these children died at sea. Vergo lied. These kids did not die at sea. In fact, Vergo knew full well that they were actually being enslaved by Caesar at Punk Hazard. Now, why did I say that he does his due diligence? Because in order not to blow his cover, Vergo had to maintain his status as Vice Admiral to the best of his abilities. Remember, he had individuals snooping around him, such as Admiral Sengoku and Vice Admiral Smoker, who are 2 of the best detectives in all of the One Piece Marines. Smoker is known as the White Chase Smoker or the Dog of the Navy because he can hound you to the ends of the Grand Line and does not care about jurisdiction. Very Sword-esque. He will snoop until he finds your shit and then he'll arrest you. He's known for that. Sengoku is known to be one of the most, if not the most intelligent tactician we have ever seen within the One Piece series outside of Suru. Now, Suru is a tactician, but she didn't display it like Sengoku did during Marineford. Vergo started within the Marines at a very young age. He started at the ripe age of 26. Now, I know that might not seem young, but remember in the One Piece world, we have superhumans that surpass 145 years old. So Vergo joined at the age of 26. For 15 years, he served in the Navy until they finally figured out, and by they, Smoker figured out that Vergo was a complete asshat and part of the Don Quixote family.
My hair's getting in my eyes. Oh, stop it.
Now, during the progression of One Piece, we get to see Vergo on multiple occasions, both in the Punk Hazard arc and in the Dressrosa arc. This solidifies him as one of our favorite characters. In fact, he was ranked number 59th in the One Piece favorite character pool, which is absolutely insane. This made him the #1 elite Don Quixote officer in all of One Piece in terms of our valued opinions, which is fucking awesome. I love Vergo. I think he's my favorite Doflamingo cast character, whatever you want to say. He's certainly the strongest I have seen within the series for sure. When I first saw Vergo, I had been tipped off prior to Punk Hazard that there would be an admiral that controlled gravity. Now, I didn't believe this individual because we were in America and this individual was serving in Japan, so he got access to the good stuff, whereas I didn't. This was pre-internet. It wasn't pre-internet, but it was pre-accessible internet. This was a long time ago. And he told me that at that time, there was a gravity admiral, and I was like, oh shit, no way. Now, this is all through text that he's telling me this, so when I saw Vergo and shit sticking to his face, I lost my shit. I literally thought that Vergo was going to be the gravity admiral, because at that time you could Google it, you could YouTube it, whatever. You're not going to find gravity admiral because it was only available in Japan when Fujitora was first released. And of course I'm referring to Fujitora, but I didn't know that at the time. I was fucking a kid and I didn't know anything, and I didn't know Vergo wasn't the admiral until I found out Vergo was Vergo and a fucking vice admiral and a traitor. So there's that little story. I don't know if I'll keep that in or not. I think one of the saddest things about Vergo's character is that he ended up betraying his G5 unit. Now, in Vergo's mind, he was carrying out his orders from Doflamingo, but as fans, we were heartbroken to see Vergo absolutely killing his own Marines left and right, leaving Tashigi on death's door. When Vergo finally decided to finger that pistol and attack Tashigi, he was interrupted by our boy Sanji. Here a fight ensued, and I'll put the fight here in a small clip. Wow, that was an incredible fight. Anyway, Vergo and Sanji go at it, and it's very clear that Sanji's outclassed. Why? Because Sanji kicks the shit out of Vergo through a wall, and that wall took more damage than either Sanji or Vergo. Vergo fucking straightens up from that wall, looks at Sanji, charges at Sanji, gives him such a kick, it actually breaks his tibia. And Sanji's like, holy shit, I get it now. This motherfucker's made of iron. And that statement, I loved that statement because it solidifies the terror that Vergo was. Because the whole time, again, this goes back to me thinking he's the gravity dude. The whole time I'm watching this fight, I'm trying to figure out what this dude's devil fruit ability is, what his powers are, and in the back of my mind, I have that reserve floating around that he's the gravity fruit user. And I'm like, holy shit, that's crazy. He's gonna do some gravity shit. No, it's even worse and way cooler. It turns out the dude is just a gifted Rokushiki and hockey master. He can armament hockey harder than anybody else I've ever seen, even now in the One Piece series. Gold Roger, Whitebeard, and Garp are the only 3 exceptions to that rule. Outside of that, nobody displayed the feats of hockey that Vergo displayed. This is not the same level of armament hockey that fucking Pika used when he got diced up by Zoro. This is a totally different level of hockey. I doubt Zoro would be able to cut Vergo, but that's just my headcanon. It was stated that this dude's hockey was absolutely off the charts. Not only that, Doflamingo entrusted Vergo to take out Law, knowing full well what Law's abilities and capabilities are. Not only did he entrust Vergo to take out Law, he also entrusted Vergo to take out Smoker. Those are 2 Herculean tasks that could only be taken advantage by, that could only be carried out by Hercules himself, and Vergo almost carried it out without a hitch. Now don't get me wrong, Vergo definitely took damage, right? His fight against Smoker, a very iconic fight. If you haven't seen it in a while, go back and rewatch it. You'll appreciate it now more than ever because it just showcases how powerful Vergo really is. And this fight a lot of times is used to bring down Smoker as a powerhouse. You cannot do that. Vergo is in a class of his own. The only reason he's not an admiral is because there's only 3 seats available and they're all Logia users. Vergo became a vice admiral with no devil fruit abilities whatsoever. And he's got extremely powerful armament hockey, as I stated before. Smoker ain't doing shit to that. Smoker really showcased, though, what happens when a Logia user goes up against an advanced hockey user, because Vergo beat the shit out of fucking Smoker. There was nothing Smoker could do. However, when Smoker gave Law his heart, Law made quick work of Vergo. To be fair, Law could make quick work of almost anybody that doesn't have a devil fruit ability and isn't a Yonko. Right? By just dicing him up with his fucking fruit. Insane in the membrane, Law's so strong, Law's the best. I don't like Law, but you know what? I get why he would be a fun character to watch. Anyway, back to Vergo. I love Vergo as a concept because he's really one of those quintessential characters that builds upon the lore of One Piece. He solidifies the Navy presence, he solidifies the treason involved and the underground dealings that the Navy might represent, right? Because the Navy is presented as this peacekeeping entity within the One Piece world that's the medium between the world government and the citizens, right? The first thing the citizens see when they're negotiating with the world government is a Marine official. So when you see that there's traitors amongst the Marine ranks, it really just goes to show the epic writing that Oda's capable of. When we see Vergo and Rosinante, two Hearts users, two Heart Seat guys, in the same chair, different ends. It's beautiful. You have Rosinante, and if you guys aren't familiar, or maybe you don't watch One Piece and you're my parents, hi, love you. Rosinante sat on the Heart Seat as a pirate, but actually was a Marine, whereas Vergo was a Marine, but was actually a pirate. Does that make sense? Let me restate that, because I feel like I botched it. So Rosinante and Vergo are two opposite ends in the same seat. Rosinante represents the pirate who's a Marine undercover, and then Vergo represents a Marine that's actually a pirate undercover. And these two find out about each other, and it's an incredible sequence. And Vergo beats the shit out of Corazon, as I previously mentioned, and Law fucking gets traumatized by it and is like, holy shit, this is insane, dude. Why are you doing this? To which Vergo responds by beating the shit out of an 8-year-old Law. Just bah, 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 and just almost kills Law. Doflamingo states that it was probably extremely traumatizing to Law, and he essentially stated that he thought Law would have trouble facing Vergo mentally, more so than physically. And that makes sense, because Vergo laid the hammer and pipe on Law. It was not a good sequence. If you haven't seen it in a while, go back and watch it. It was crazy. During the Punk Hazard arc, we're introduced to a whole slew of characters to essentially build up what would later become the Dressrosa arc and their antagonists, such as Treble, Diamante, Pika, and Doflamingo himself. Vergo, being the Heart representative, also being Doflamingo's right-hand man. I wish he was saved for the Dressrosa arc because he was defeated too early, in my opinion. When Law diced him up and left him for dead, it almost made it seem that Vergo was weak in everyone's mind. And I remember talking on One Piece forums and talking to my friends in high school about this, and they were like, Vergo was ass. Law's the best, but no, Vergo is incredibly powerful. He's the first real hockey master we see post-time skip. He's also able to grab Smoker, which I think is the first time in the series we see a hockey user dispatch a Logia user in real time. That was crazy. Don't sleep on Vergo. He's fucking incredible. Anyway, I love Vergo. He's an incredible character. Shit sticks to his face. I thought he was the gravity user when I first saw him. I was mistaken. He's a member of the Don Quixote family, and he's extremely loyal to that family to the point he's willing to infiltrate the Marines and carry out an atrocity of orders and absolutely commit atrocities on behalf of the Doflamingo family and cover them up so that they can remain warlords and pirates. Crazy, dude. Crazy amount of dedication from Vergo. It's absolutely insane that Vergo's as loyal as he is, and really sad in a way. It's really sad in a way because that led to Vergo's demise ultimately. As I had mentioned before, Vergo has no double fruit ability and powers to speak of. What he does have is a wicked-ass bamboo stick. Now, what's really funny and an ongoing comedic routine that Vergo has about his character is that he's very forgetful. He forgets there's shit on his face, and when he was going to go take care of Tashigi and the G5 subordinates, he was looking for his sword, and Monet, the harpy chick, had to remind him that he is not a swordsman. And Vergo's like, right, I use a bamboo stick. And this bamboo stick will forever be one of the most iconic weapons in all of One Piece. He can hockey this motherfucking thing up so fucking hard, it smashed a hockeyed version of Smoker's jut straight in half. Broke that bitch, and both were hockeyed up. So it just went to show how much mastery Vergo had over armament hockey compared to another vice admiral who had a decent understanding of armament hockey. I can't say Smoker's a master because it's never confirmed that Smoker's a master of observation and armament. However, it is confirmed that Vergo is a master of armament hockey to the point where he can coat his entire body, as seen here, in armament hockey. And Vergo is the epitome of a bodybuilder who can fight. This dude's got traps, pecs, triceps, and rhomboid for days, bro. Look at those muscles, man. Damn, put a shirt on. That's me. And I reiterate, it's really cool in One Piece to see a really talented character that comes out of nowhere that doesn't have a double fruit ability, that just uses straight hands. And Vergo does exactly that. Granted, he uses a bamboo stick, but that bamboo stick is not a devil fruit OP ability like the fucking Hito no Mi that Doflamingo uses, right? It's just his bare hands and a stick. And Vergo can wreck entire islands. When he was a kid, he was still a monster. He was destroying islands left and right alongside Diamante and Treble as the mafia bosses of the Don Quixote family, creating a name for Doflamingo on the rise to making Doflamingo the king of the pirates. Alongside hockey, it is confirmed that Vergo is a Rokushiki master, and it's kind of like, oh shit. But you really get to see it in real time when that motherfucker launches himself at Sanji and Smoker at lightning fast speed. Sanji wasn't prepared, and essentially that's what broke his leg, was that impact from Soru. And then Smoker, that scene where fucking Vergo hits Smoker with the demon bamboo and the shockwave that emits from Smoker's abdomen back through his spine, abdomen to spine, just it absolutely cracks the entirety of Punk Hazard behind them. That's how strong Vergo is. He's able to emit such powerful forces that it doesn't make sense. And that's what I love about Vergo. He's an awesome character, and I really hope we get more characters like him within the series. Now here, we're gonna transfer into less about Vergo as a character and more into One Piece theories. So now we're getting into One Piece theories that revolve around the idea that Vergo is in fact the assassin trying to free Doflamingo. I'll let that sink in for a second. Right, so let's get into it. Vergo is totally the assassin trying to free Doflamingo. I know I've made a few videos talking about how it could be Kuro and how it'd be fun to be Kuro, but Kuro is a fun option. Vergo is the likely option. Number one, Vergo's loyalty outweighs death 10-1. There is no way Vergo's dead. Alright, it's One Piece. Nobody ever fucking dies in One Piece. Vergo's still alive and very much kicking and gunning after Doflamingo to get him the hell out of Impel Down to make him the Pirate King. Remember, Vergo's whole purpose is to serve the once crowned celestial dragon Doflamingo and bring him to his rise to make him the Pirate King so that he can enslave the celestial dragons, or at the very least, get revenge. So Vergo is willing to do whatever it takes to free Doflamingo and get him back on his feet, assuming that he's still alive, right? Because this whole theory is dead in the water if it's confirmed 1000% that Vergo is dead. There's a few reasons why I think Vergo's alive and the assassin in Impel Down. The gas, which is H2S, is non-lethal. I know, it's non-lethal. We saw that there was a cure for it at the end of Punk Hazard. All you had to do is, I don't remember, but I do remember distinctly that there was a cure for it. So if the gas got to Vergo, he could still be alive. Another thing is that Vergo's crazy fucking strong. He's way too strong and tanked too many punches and kicks by some of the top tier One Piece characters. He's way too strong to just be dispatched and thrown into the trash by Law. He was dismembered by Law's Oppi no Mi, but I guarantee you that by some shenanigans he was put back together by the dragon on Punk Hazard or by fucking Brownbeard, right? There's plenty of characters that were sitting around Punk Hazard that could totally reassemble Vergo because Vergo's intimidating and he's very charismatic. Remember, he was once a vice admiral for the Navy, undercover as a pirate, or vice versa. He was a let me try. Vice admiral. I'm going to try my best to get this. This is insane. He was a vice admiral who's actually a pirate and nobody knew. So he's extremely charismatic is the point. Any character that's in passing on Punk Hazard would happily put him together under the guise that he's a Navy vice admiral, or Vergo could just blackmail them somehow or offer them some kind of goodies that he has on his face. Who knows? It's all the possibilities in the world. But anyway, let's say Brownbeard, for example, is in passing with his crew. Vergo asks him for help. Brownbeard would totally help Vergo, reassemble him after recognizing him. Vergo goes on his way. Brownbeard maintains his life and livelihood, and they go their separate ways. In which case, Vergo, over the 2 years, or excuse me, God, I'm losing it. I thought Vergo was pre-time skip because he's so goddamn cool. He's so goddamn cool. I thought he was pre-time skip. Nope, not pre-time skip. He's actually post-time skip. So Vergo in that time would have had to find out A, where Doflamingo is, or B, find transportation to get to where Doflamingo is. Because it depends the amount of time it took for somebody to find Vergo in passing, put them together, and for Vergo to find transportation off of Punk Hazard, which was now declared a dead island and had relatively no inhabitants outside of the experiments that lied resting in Punk Hazard. The experiments being the Yeti Cool Brothers, the dragons, and all of the pirate crews that ended up there that Law dismembered and put together with animals. For some reason, nobody really ever explained that to me. Vergo gets put together by somebody in passing. He finds a vessel. He makes it all the way to Dressrosa only to realize that his proud king was defeated by a Monkey D. Luffy, the very same Monkey D. Luffy that he let go on Punk Hazard, and the very same Law that he let go on Punk Hazard and was defeated by. Now, with this heavy loss weighing down on his shoulders, Vergo would now have a new purpose in freeing Doflamingo. However, Doflamingo's transportation team was no joke, as seen in the anime. And even Vergo wouldn't be able to handle such threats. These threats consisting of Suru, Sengoku, and Fujitora. There's no way a character as powerful as Vergo is going to go up against those three. Those three are top tier characters. Now, I list Vergo in the higher echelon of One Piece characters in terms of power, strength, armament, hockey, whatever. He is not top tier. He is not on Sengoku's level. He's not on Fujitora's level because he is not an admiral level threat. Now, he definitely could be. He definitely could be. But from what we saw, those three together would definitely crush him. And Vergo's smarter than that. He wouldn't take on those threats. A threat that Vergo would happily take on, however, is the threat of Impel Down. Number one, Magellan is a sitting goose, and with Vergo's armament hockey, it's very likely that he could be immune to poison or venom, right? He coats himself in that crazy, ridiculous armament hockey, and he might just be able to be immune to venom since nothing could secrete through. He can't absorb it through his skin because the coating of his armament hockey is shutting it out. So then he faces off against Magellan, beats the shit out of Magellan. So that's reason number three, is that Magellan's poison or venom wouldn't work against Vergo because of Vergo's armament hockey. Vergo's incredibly strong with this armament hockey. I doubt the venom would seep through it, and essentially Magellan would be defeated by our boy Vergo, and Vergo would be heading down to the lower levels of Impel Down, specifically level 6, to rescue our boy Doflamingo. When I look at this critically, and I look at this analytically, there's not a single Impel Down subordinate that could take out Vergo. Not even Magellan, if what I said is the case with the venom. If Vergo is able to armament hockey himself so fucking hard that Magellan's venom can't get through. By the way, this is what Vergo looks like, again, for you guys who've forgotten this video because it is a long video. What Vergo looks like all armament hockeyed up. Look at that shit. Look at those abs. You think Venom's getting through that? I don't think Venom's getting through that. I'm gonna try to get between those buns though, but I'm probably not gonna make it. So Vergo is incredibly powerful. And I don't think Magellan has what it takes to actually dispatch Vergo. I don't think Magellan can defeat Vergo. I don't think that's a possibility that exists within the One Piece world. I could be wrong. The only thing standing between Vergo and Doflamingo is the flight of stairs within Impel Down and the structure of Impel Down itself. What could end up happening is that Vergo gets trapped along his beloved king and has to stay there trapped in level 6 alongside Doflamingo. However, I doubt that's going to happen, because Vergo is the type of man to make successes become reality. and I don't think there's a scenario in which you could stop Vergo from rescuing Doflamingo even if it costs his life. Now there's a few scenarios that I could see playing out that are going to be really fun, so stick around. Stay with me here. This is going to be awesome. I see Vergo rescuing Doflamingo and attempting to escape Impel Down after defeating Magellan. It was a long drawn out fight. The demon guards were there. They weren't powerful enough to defeat Vergo. Vergo's just too physically boss. And Vergo easily spanked the Minotaurus, the Rhino thing, the fucking Zebra, and Minichihuahua, unfortunately. Vergo was just too much to handle. Minichihuahua's ropes didn't work, they kept breaking, and he gets Doflamingo out of there. Amongst their escape, they realize they don't have a vessel to escape on, or there's some type of code, or they need to open the gates of justice to escape. In comes Bon Clay and the level 5.5 prisoners. These individuals are Okamas. They come to the rescue and aid of Doflamingo and Vergo. Why? Well, because Vergo and Doflamingo, they don't realize that they're enemies. They have no reason to fear these two outside of name alone. But if they need help, they could become powerful allies to Bon Clay. Bon Clay wouldn't really understand or know that Doflamingo was dispatched by Luffy, right? It really wouldn't be a concept to Bon Clay, who's in 5.5 and allegedly has no means of actually reading the newspaper. Now, I could be wrong. It might be possible that Bon Clay's been keeping up with the news, has been watching Vegapunk's message, and knows all about the happenings in the world and knew Luffy beat Doflamingo in an epic clash. That being said, even in the event that that is the case, it still could lead precedent for Bon Clay helping Doflamingo under the guise, well, you got defeated by my best friend. To which Doflamingo would respond in some method of malice, and Vergo would calm him down, knowing that Bon Clay is the only way off of that island. And Bon Clay, having outside access, as we just established in this scenario, would be able to contact the outside world to get a ship in, or help them secure one. Either way, I see it going down in that direction, because you have to find a way narratively to introduce Bon Clay back into the story, him being such a meaningful character, and we got the cover story of him in 5.5 Impel Down. You've got to bring him back somehow in the final arc of One Piece. What better way to do that than when Vergo is breaking out Doflamingo, right? That just makes sense to me. It might not make sense to you and it might seem far-fetched, but I can totally see Oda going in that direction with it. Now, once they get outside and the gates of justice are open, I don't really see a way. I don't really see Vergo leaving Impel Down. I see Vergo holding off the forces of Impel Down because Magellan's just not going to sit down and take that shit. Magellan's going to go after Bon Clay, Vergo, and Doflamingo. They're way too big of threats to leave alive. He's going to go after them. And Vergo, knowing damn well that Magellan's toxins could easily kill Doflamingo, while Doflamingo has Sea Prism cuffs on, he goes after Magellan, sacrificing himself for his king. Doflamingo would sail away into the sunset with Bon Clay and a few others, and they would show up in the final acts of One Piece and helping Luffy, allegedly. Maybe, I hope. But Vergo would go down in Impel Down, arrested, and swapping places to redeem himself from the loss he took from Law. And then in his mind, his story comes to a conclusion. He's in prison where he belongs, along with the other Don Quixote family members, and Doflamingo escapes scot-free to essentially continue on his mission and journey to become the Pirate King, alongside his new right-hand man, Bon Clay. And Vergo completed his mission in freeing Doflamingo, and that wraps up his story. And as his story wraps up, I do believe this video wraps up. That is all I have for you guys on Vergo today. I really hope you enjoyed my theory. I essentially want that to be the case. I want Vergo to rescue Doflamingo, and that be how Doflamingo makes it to the final arcs of One Piece, whether it's on Elbaf, whether it's on Laugh Tale, wherever. And I would love to see Luffy's face when he sees Doflamingo and Bon Clay together. And then Luffy's like, what the fuck, Bon-chan? That's Doflamingo, dude. Get the fuck away from him. He's bad. And Bon Clay would be like, oh, and kick the shit out of Doflamingo and then jump and twist in the air and get on Luffy's side. And Vergo would be rotting in prison happily, with just a big old grin on his face that he could serve his master Doflamingo. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for showing up to this YouTube campfire. I hope you enjoy these One Piece videos, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Dick that big. Vergo's got a big dick. Wow, you got some, don't you?